I am good, and how are you?
No complaints. Sorry for the hold up.
Oh no, it's okay. At least we're done setting up.
Thank you very much. But I can see the screen in full,
All right, okay,
and you
thank
can
you.
start. I'm live already.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, grade 10s. Grade 11s. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking about the grade 12s. So, good afternoon, the grade 12s. Remember, they used to be standard 10s. I'm so sorry. Good afternoon, and welcome to the LO lesson. My name is Tuleng Nzika, and I am your teacher for LO for the duration of the lockdown. On the screen here is my details, or rather my email address, litika uleng at yahoo.com. That is my email address, and that is where you can find me. You can speak to me about anything with regards to LO that you want to know, any question that you've got, anything that you want me to clarify. So, yes, that is it. We're going to start with today's lesson, which is revision. I know you've asked me to start with past papers, so I'm gonna start very soon with past papers. So today I've just got the theory part, and then we'll start answering the past papers very soon, because I need to prepare for them so that we don't make big mistakes. So welcome to everybody who's just joined the class. So yes, um we're going to continue with the lesson. So we're starting right from the beginning, and then once we started with the past papers, we're going to take a different style. You'll see we'll cover everything as we're busy with the past papers. We'll go and visit the different chapters. So the lesson is chapter 1, unit 1 revision, development of the self in society. So this is all about you and what you do, how you view yourself, and the lesson objectives for today are that you know the type of goals. So you're going to set goals. It's very important right now. I think that I have to cover this because you want to make goals to pass at the end of the year. You do want to go to matric. You don't want to see yourself in grade 11 again. And once you are done with matric, you do want to see yourself somewhere someday. So know the types of goals, know how to get goals, how to set goals using the Be Smart method, know the 5 step method for planning and goal setting. So I know yesterday I asked you for something. I don't know whether anyone's done it, just to make sure that we go back to it before we move forward. Please remember that you can speak to me through the chat box or raise your hand. I'll unmute you so that you can speak to me throughout the lesson and to everybody else. And you're welcome to help answer the questions. And everyone must just let's communicate and let's take part in the lesson. So yesterday we were covering cultural practices and how some cultural and traditional practices may be harmful to other humans, to the environment, and to animals. So we went through a couple of examples um, of these maybe negative or harmful practices. So then I ask you to maybe go and get me an example of a practice that is harmful to humans, animals, and the environment. And then I ask you to tell me why. And then I also ask you to get one that does not harm the environment, humans, and animals. So if you did go and do that for me, can you please go to the chat box quickly? Or if you want to share, or maybe you can just, I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll cover it maybe at the end of the lesson. Should we do that? Let's keep it for the end of the lesson. When we've got time, we're gonna go and do that. So maybe you can type it out for me whilst we're doing when I give you the activity for tomorrow and when I'm busy reading the summary, if I did provide one. So yes, the lesson objectives, I've already read them out, and then let us now start with today's lesson. So the types of goals. A goal is something that you try to achieve. Setting goals helps you to live your life to the fullest. You can live this way because goals help you to focus and they motivate you and inspire you. A goal is different from a dream because you can take action to achieve it. So, dreaming can be you sitting the whole day and thinking about a Ferrari or thinking about a Lamborghini, but as long as you don't plan to do anything about achieving um, that Ferrari, it remains a dream. So it becomes a goal once you start setting out to do something about it, maybe drawing a business plan or doing some research on how you can do a side hustle and start giving yourself some business skills and making some money and just starting to build the dream to finally get that Ferrari. So goals are useful because they give you direction. Let me just go. They give you direction by helping you to move from where you are to where you want to be. And then they also help you to take charge of your future and allow you to plan how you want to be. And then goals are also personal, unique, or special. So goals give you a point where you can start and a destination to reach. So you have somewhere to start and then you know where you want to go. And then writing your goals down is important because it helps you to clarify what you want to do. So if you've got it down, you try to put it in words and to see exactly what you want to do. And then it will also help you understand the importance of pursuing them. So once you've got it right, then you've got a reason to chase. And then it will also help you to commit yourself and to commit yourself to making the goals happen. So once it's down, you can also write down how now you're going to make this happen. Now you've got something, you put it on your wall, maybe you write it out nicely. And if you're a private person, you don't want people to see it when they come into a room, you just keep it in your diary. So remember that goals only have value if they help you develop and or they help you improve others. So they can help you develop yourself or they help you improve others. Otherwise, really, you can't just aim to see how many chocolates you can eat by the end of Friday or how many burgers you can down by the end of the month. No, you need something that makes sense, something you're not gonna say, I want to earn money so that I can eat as much junk as I want. No, that's not a good life goal. Saying I want to earn money so that I can live in a healthy manner to be able maybe to pay for the gym, pay for extra yoga lessons or whatever the nice life comes with. Maybe eating from this nice expensive store that rich people buy at where they buy organic food. So yeah, that can be a good goal instead of just aiming to be wasteful or doing something that is going to make you deteriorate as a person. So setting your goals will give you clarity on what you want to do and what you want to personally achieve. It helps you express or articulate your heart's desires. So it's that which is in your heart, you're expressing it on paper and now you're going to go out and do what your heart wants. You're going to follow your heart, and then ensure that you put time and energy and effort into the things that really matter in your life. So choose the things that really matter and then chase after them. The things that you find as important, you're going to make an effort to make those things happen. Like if you like someone, hang around that person. If you don't like someone who's negative or just takes your energy away, just has is pessimistic or just drains you, you want to just cut out that person and stay away from that person. So you're going to feed the good energy, you're going to feed the good areas in your life, and you're going to starve the areas that make you sad and that make you to waste time. So moving on to the next slide, goal setting is a life skill. Other life skills that will help you set and achieve goals include, so these are the other life skills that can help you to set and achieve your goals. Number one is problem solving. So problem solving is the process of identifying a problem, developing possible solutions and paths, and taking the suitable course of action. So making a decision that is suitable in order to solve that problem, because there are many ways of solving problems. You have to get the way that is best for you, something that is suitable for you. So you can't solve your problem the way the next person solves their problem. You're not your friend and you're not like your neighbor. So you can't just copy what your neighbor does. You make decisions that are suitable for you. We solve problems almost every day, and a lot of times we do it unconsciously. So it's not something that should break your head. It's not something tough. You do it every day. You solve problems every day, and you don't even think about it. You don't even realize it when you do it because it's that simple. So, decision making, learning how to make good decisions is an important life skill, not just for achieving outward success, but also to make sure that you have a long lasting sense of personal achievement. Example, when you're faced with the choice of studying or being around friends, or faced with the choice of studying and staying on social media, or studying and watching a long series of Game of Thrones or Grey's Anatomy or Empire. So, or whatever it is that you would be interested in doing. I mean, you have to make a decision between that and studying. You should actually make the choice that will benefit you in the long term, something that will feed you, that will direct you in the path of success. You know that you've got a very crazy year this year, like the curriculum has been turned upside down. You don't know when you're going back to school, where the department is trying to figure itself out. Your school is also trying to sort itself out. So it is the best time to make the correct decision, which is maybe to allocate, not maybe, but to allocate some time for studying and not always thinking that you're on holiday, uh, sitting the whole day and even watching current affairs shows too. You can also limit them because you'd still be spending a lot of time doing something. So never forget that you are a learner and that you need to make time to study, because that is how you're going to move on to the next grade, and that you right now you're at the foundation of your life. You're building your base, and anything that comes after this will just be your walls. Will just be your walls. Others are building empires. We don't know, but it's all about making the right decisions. So you start now when you're young, because the decisions you make today will affect you tomorrow. So just make sure that you make the correct decisions. And then self-management, managing yourself. Self-management is also referred to as self-control, meaning being able to control yourself, is the ability to control your emotions, so your anger, your happiness, so just controlling your emotions, your thoughts too. You don't want to overthink, you don't want to be too imaginative. You want to like think constructively and not self-destruct, not just have self-destructing thoughts and listen to negative thoughts. So you need to sit down and make your thoughts understand that they're not gonna drive you into a negative path. So you need to channel your thoughts towards the positive things and towards achieving the things that you want to do. Remember, you are at the end of the day the collection of your thoughts. Everything that you do in life starts in your head. It starts with your thinking, and anything that you conceive basically starts in your mind. It started in your mind. So before you decided to study, for instance, you have thought about it before. Okay, today let me cover some math, so I'll start doing it at 4 o'clock. So you thought about it before, and then you do it afterwards. So we need to get into the habits of controlling our thoughts, because even the negative things, you start thinking negatively, and then after a while you start behaving in a negative manner. So your actions show us what is going on in your mind. And behaviors effectively in different situations. And okay, yes, it is also referred to as self-control, the ability to control your emotions, thoughts, and behaviors effectively in different situations. So just you are adjusting your behavior in different situations. You don't want to be loud in the class and disruptive, and then when you're supposed to have a conversation on the playground, then during break, then you're timid, shy, and now you want to speak softly. You can't do that. You can't be different, totally different person in a setting where, for instance, if you want to be loud and disruptive and chat and laugh out loud, you do it outside the class. When you're in the class, it's the time when you want to be quiet. So adapting your behavior and making sure you behave appropriately in given situations means that if you're at a park, you're gonna laugh. If you're at a funeral, you're going to keep your laughter to yourself. If you, if you're in a counseling session with someone, you're not gonna pass rude remarks. When you're watching a music video, then maybe that's the best time to comment on Drake's sneakers and say how you don't like them. But in real life, that's not how we do things. So this includes managing stress, so managing your own stress, making sure that you do things on time, that you think positively, that emotionally you're okay, that you don't take things too harsh. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Otherwise, then you end up being depressed. You're only human. Like, take things as they come, and everything happens for a reason. So, delaying gratification, I used to do this very well in varsity, delaying gratification. When you have to study, you think about doing other things. Let me watch a movie before and then I'll start. Let me go eat and then I'll start. So what I used to do is say, okay, I'm going to study for this exam, and then maybe I used to save money before and say this is money that is going to cover me for at the end of each exam. So I'll maybe save money for fast food. I won't spend on fast food during the term. And then at the end of before, let's say I'm writing on Friday, no, let me not take the weekend. Let's say I'm writing on Thursday. So remember, I haven't had any chocolate, pizza, chicken, fried chicken, whatever. So I've just been living on student stuff like uh, wheat bix, an egg, some aura, something random stuff, bread. So I'll study, and then at the end of my exam, I'll give myself a little treat. So at the end of this exam on Thursday, then I'll just go out and sit at a restaurant and eat. So I'm delaying gratification. So I'm giving myself like a little sweetie for at the end of my exam to say, okay, you've written your exam, well done, you've killed it, you studied, you've killed it, you wrote well, you're happy now. Here's a little something. It's like when a child has done well, the teacher will put a little star, the grade ones, twos, threes. They'll put a little sticker on the forehead. So that is to say, well done. That encourages the child. So delaying gratification, there's nothing wrong with like not getting something instantaneously, like getting something right now. You can delay your gratification. You don't always have to be like a child and get cry for a lollipop and get a biscuit whenever you want it. So you can say, I'll wait for the weekend. Let me study Monday to Friday. I'm focusing on my schoolwork. I'm focusing on studying for my exams. Then Saturday, I'll go out. Let's go out on Saturdays for ice cream, or let's go to the park and go and skate. So you're not doing it during the week. You're leaving it for the weekend. So you're delaying the nice thing, and you can do it free and enjoy yourself at the end of the weekend or after you have achieved what you have achieved. I know it sounds silly, but it really helped me to not do silly things and like stop and watch a movie. I can always go and watch a movie after I've written my exams. I can go to the cinema and I've saved up. You go sit in the VIP section and just live your best life. You reward yourself. So motivating oneself and setting and working towards personal and academic goals. So students with a strong sense with strong self-management skills. So if you have strong self-management skills, you will arrive at class prepared. You'll pay attention in class and you'll follow instructions or directions. You will work independently. No one has to come behind you, and no, your teacher doesn't have to nag you to finish your work. And then you're not one of these learners that disrupt class. So you wait for other learners to finish speaking, and you're quiet, and you do participate when your teacher asks you to participate. So these are some of the signs of uh, someone who a learner who self manages themselves properly or who has self control. And then the third bullet point, time management. Time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. So, all right, I'm playing netball from 3 to 4. After school is 2:30. So I know that I can't allocate time for studying between 3 and 4 because I'm at netball practice. So you're allocating time for specific activities. You are remembering that I need to make some time for between my study hours for travel time, time to wash the dishes. So you're realistic about things. So you do have 24 hours, but you also have to allocate time for eating, maybe allocate time for having a conversation with your little sister. You are a human being, like you're not gonna ignore everyone else now. You are a social being, so you're not gonna be a zombie and just always be in your room at your study table. You do need you still have family, you're still a brother, a sister, you are still going to say hi. You can still watch a current affairs show or a news bulletin, just some downtime. But remember, downtime doing something constructive. So good management enables you to work smarter, not harder. So remember, we're always working smarter. So we should get used to the idea of working smarter instead of harder so that you get more done in less time, even when you're pressed for time. So, failing to manage your time damages your effectiveness and causes stress. So, goal setting is a life skill. Other life skills that will help you set and achieve your goals. The last one is reflection and evaluation. So, this is when you reflect, you're looking back, you're evaluating, self evaluation, you're taking stock, basically. Reflection allows us to learn from mistakes and apply what is learned from one situation to the other. So you've learned, you've done something, you look back, you see, okay, this is what I've learned, and now I can act differently next time. Now you're applying what you've learned in other areas. Now you're helping other people. So it helps you to be happy too. So when you reflect, you are happy and you celebrate wins. So you can see I've done well in this area. Like what I was saying that, after you have killed this math paper, then you can go out and, have a good laugh with your friends at the park or whatever. Or whatever you enjoy doing, going boat riding, or maybe you just love being around your friends. That's fine. So it helps you identify areas for change and improvement. So when you reflect and evaluate after you've worked or after you've got your report, now you can see the areas that you need to improve in, and you can identify what needs to change. So maybe I need to change the way I do things. So let's say, yeah, even not just with regards to studies, maybe you realize that when you speak to this person in this way, they are passive. Maybe your little sister or your cousin that you're living with, when you speak to them, maybe in an authoritative manner, they become passive. So maybe you want to speak to them in a different way so that they can communicate with you and they can be proactive. So you need to speak to them in a respectful way, maybe. So I'm applying this to a relationship. So it can also help you develop a questioning attitude. So you're asking why. So these are critical skills. And then new perspectives, like now you see in a new way. So you've reflected, you have looked back, and now you see, but here's another idea, here's a new way of doing things. So you discover a new way of doing things, generate new ideas, so you get new ideas how to solve problems. So discover opportunities and needs. So you discover opportunities or needs, and then you help others. So once you have reflected and you think you've learned, then you can help others. So, and then, yeah, that is the last one. And then we're going to look at the three types of goals. All right. So we're looking at the three types of goals. There are short term goals, and there are goals that you can achieve in a short time, such as a week, a month, or a few months. Usually, you set short term goals to be achieved in less than a year. So, a short term goal can be, so this one would be for a few months. So, I don't know how long do we have till next year. So maybe you can just save. You see, we don't have a lot of money right now because I know some of our parents got salary cuts, and some of our parents maybe were told to stay at home a bit until after lockdown, where they continued to work. So maybe they didn't get their salary for this month. And then maybe some of our parents' UIFs have not paid out yet. So uh, then we need to plan for the future and see how we're going to help our parents out. And maybe you want to eat less fast food and start saving more. Maybe you going to spend less money on watching series, expensive series. Maybe you're spending 400 rand on what is this data, and you use like half of this data on maybe gaming or whatever you do. And then maybe you can start saving and say, I'm going to help my parents, and for the next few months I'm going to save and pay for my own matric jersey next year, or I'm going to save it and buy my own study guides for next year. All right, let me check the chat box. Someone has something to say. All right, short-term goals, 6 months to 2 years. So there we go. Short-term goals. This is from the textbook though, the focus textbook. It says a week, a month, or a few months. Because now 2 years is not a short-term goal. I don't think 2 years is a short-term goal. That's too long. If 2 years is a short-term goal, then like how long is gonna be a medium goal? And then how long is going to be a long-term goal? Unless if you're a big company, like if you are Unilever, then 2 years is a short-term goal. So yes, let me check quickly. All right. I'm so sorry. So yes, a short-term goal, like I've said, maybe is to help you buy your matric jersey, or you can buy your parents study guys. Okay, guys, relax. Oh my goodness. Okay, so help your parents buy study guides, and then your medium-term goals are the goals that you guys, okay, that you aim to achieve in 1 to 3 years. So they are shorter than long-term goals and longer than short-term goals. So these are your medium-term goals. So maybe your medium-term goal would be to to save, and then to help your parents with paying for your registration for matric. So now maybe you've got from now until the end of next year. So it is a good maybe 16 months, so 1 year to 3 years. So you'll start saving and help out your parents with the paying of the registration. You obviously not registrations are expensive, so you're not gonna pay everything. Or maybe you can just buy yourself a laptop that you're gonna start with at varsity or any tertiary institution that you're going to, or you're going to help buy your modules, textbooks for your modules. So your long-term goals are usually life goals that you aim to achieve in more than 3 years. So maybe you can aim that from your first year to your third year, maybe in 3 years, you're going to save. Maybe you're going to be hustling and doing promotions. I know when some people are at varsity, they are the life of campus and they're busy with promotions, promoting for different retails, retail houses, for different clubs, and they are getting paid. They're hustling. Some ladies are plaiting hair. They're giving other students nails and like microblading. They know how to do it with these razors. Girls always make money on the side, braiding and stuff. So your side hustles, and then you decide that maybe after 3 years, when I graduate, I'm going to buy myself a second-hand car. So whatever, or I'm going to buy my mother something, or take my mother on holiday for supporting me throughout these 3 years, just to say thank you. Maybe I'm gonna take her out to Cape Town. Maybe she's never been to the beach, so I'll take her out just to say thank you to my mother for supporting me throughout my tertiary years. And then, yeah, those would be short-term goals, long-term goal, medium-term, and long-term goals. So let us move. I'm sure you've got your own examples, though, of things that you want to do. Remember, we said that goals are unique, are personal, and are like they are personal to you. It can be anything. It's personal to you. Maybe you can't. Maybe your aim would just be to finish the course as it is, just to finish your engineering. Or maybe your goal would just be to get a golden key award. You just don't want to pass, but rather you want to pass with cum laude. You want to be the best student in the country, or you just aim to whatever, to start your business. Your aim would just be to maybe register your own business. Whatever you want to be, it would be tailor-made for you. So then be smart. So follow the SMART method. This is the current slide. Follow the SMART method when you set goals. This method helps you to set specific measure. This method helps you to set specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely goals. So specific, you know exactly what your goal is. It is not just a general wish. So remember I said dreaming and wishing is you closing your eyes. You don't even have to close your eyes. You can sit there with your friends and talk every day about how you want to drive a McLaren, but if you don't do anything about it, it remains a wish. So again, you could be general and say, I just want to go to varsity. I just want to go to varsity. That's not specific. Like, what do you want to go to varsity to go and do? All right, I want to study in the Faculty of Humanities. What in the Faculty of Humanities do you want to study? Do you want to study philosophy, sociology? Do you want to study a language, maybe Italian, French? Do you want to study anthropology, sign language, linguistics? Like, what is it? Because it's broad. You can't just sit there and say, I want to study in the Faculty of Humanities. What is it that you want to do? You need to do research, because a lot of people, you get there during your first year and then you just register for something and find out in the middle of the way that you don't really like this. So be specific about your goals. So let me just leave the studying out. So maybe, all right, no, maybe not. Uh, Maybe your goal would be to pass matric. So that is a specific goal, measurable. You can measure your progress. You can see if you will achieve each step towards your goal. So it is measurable because you're going to check your assignments. You are going to check how your marks come back. And as you go along, you'll be preparing and making sure you beat your own record. So if you get a 69, you aim for 65. When you get a 65, you aim for 70, or rather, you just aim for a distinction, maybe a 90 something, and then you see how well you do and how consistent you are. So it's measurable. Yes, you can achieve each step. You see that you do better than what you did last time. So achievable, yes, you can definitely pass your matric. It's been done before. It's not something that has never been done before. Like, right, people have passed matric before, they have prepared before, so it is something that you can achieve. The curriculum is not designed to fail you anyway. So it is achievable. So realistic, you can achieve this goal. It is important and within your reach. It is within your reach. You are going to be taught the whole year. Your teachers are experienced matric teachers, and your teachers know what is going to be asked of you. Okay, they don't have access to the paper, but they do have access to past papers. They will prepare you, so it is within your reach. You can get, if you study and you use your time properly, you have your study timetable and everything, you will be able to. It is realistic. You will be able to pass. And in timely, you can achieve this goal within a time frame. You've got 12 months. You've got from Jan to December, to the day you write your final exam to pass your matric. So it is a time frame. So you can apply this to anything really in your life. Remember, goals are personal and unique. So whatever you feel that you want to have a goal for or you want to achieve, then that is something that you can set smart goals for. And then the 5-step method for planning and goal setting. So you need to, number one, write down your goals. So you need to write it down in your diary. You can have it up. What I usually have up on my wall is not really my goals, but I usually take a chart. Every year I go buy a nice pie chart, and I take magazines and I cut out the words that speak to me, like beautiful, healthy, travel, reading, listening. I cut out words, excellence, entrepreneur, things that speak to me, positive things. I put them on the chart and I stick them up on my wall. I mean, those are the positive things. But the goals that are more personal, like writing out that by the end of the year, I want to have passed all these modules, then I'll write it down in my diary. Or if you are a private person, you'll write it down in your diary or wherever. If you don't mind your family seeing your goals, you can have them up on your wall. So write it down. And then number 2, check to see if it's a SMART goal. We just covered the SMART points, so you'll just go back and see whether you can take you can take all the boxes. So make number 3, make an action plan to achieve your goal. An action plan allows you to set out what you will do and then will do it, and when you will do it, and how and by when you want to achieve her. It's a SMART goal too. So these are also things in your SMART goals, that setting a time, 6 months, 3 months, a year, whether this is a short term, medium, and long term goal. And then carrying out, number 4, carrying out your action plan. So doing things, waking up in the morning, bathing, and going out and chasing your dream. You're not gonna get something if you sit at home, sulk, and feel sorry for yourself, and then point fingers and log on to Instagram and then look at people's lives and their expensive bags, sitting there and thinking, oh, this person is living such a wonderful life. One day I'm gonna get this. That person wakes up in the morning and goes to hustle. They wake up and they go and work. I mean, maybe they take 2 minutes to post whatever it is that they're posting. That is if the product is the original one or it is theirs. So yeah, basically you need to wake up and you need to make things happen. And then number 5, evaluate if you have achieved your goals. So remember the reflection we did cover the bullet point of reflection and evaluation, and you will go back and see whether you have done well and how you've done. So, question for what you're going to do for yourself is you're going to set a SMART goal for your life for this year and write it in the SMART form. So, okay, goals are personal. So, I'm not going to ask you to give me your goals. It is your short-term goal that is, so it's maybe for the end of this year, so it's a couple of months. So you're going to write down the goal and you're going to write it in a smart form. And remember, at the end of the year, you're going to evaluate and reflect. So whatever you're going to put there in your diary or have there on your wall, you're going to evaluate it and you're going to reflect and you're going to see whether you have done it or not. So this is the summary of Unit 1. Plan and achieve life goals. Apply life skills as evidence of an ability. Second bullet point, a goal is something you try to achieve so that you can live your life to the fullest. Goals give you a direction and focus, and they are personal. Different types of goals are short-term goals, medium-term goals, which help you to achieve your long-term goals. And then to achieve your goals, you need to, what did I do? So you can go back to the slides. To achieve your goals, you need to, I don't know what I did here. So problem solving skills and to persevere and be persistent. Okay. Let me check the chat box again. No, I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you. I wasn't laughing at you. I was just thinking about something with regards to what I said. I'm so sorry, ma'am. You laughing at me ain't gonna help me understand. You should be correcting me instead of laughing. I didn't like what you did. I'm sorry. I do apologize, Shadira. I wasn't laughing at you. I wasn't laughing at you. I was just thinking about the corporate example. The corporate example came into my mind. So yeah, I'm so sorry. I do apologize. Sincerely, I apologize. I am sorry to hurt your feelings, and I will never laugh at you. I would never do that intentionally, and I would never hurt you. So I apologize, and I also apologize to the rest of the class too. I'm so sorry. So, okay, it's fine. Okay, this is a safe space where we can all learn. So, right, that is it. Sorry, Bitu Melanie. I am very sorry. My slides won't move. Oh, and then I let the grade 12 see me today because the slides weren't working. So, I'll let you see me too. Hello. There we go. Yes, I know it's a long time since you've seen me. So yes, there we go. I'm trying to move my slides now to the next slide. So please join me for the next class on Thursday, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Thursday. And then for more information, please contact Africa Team Geeks. Remember to sign up for the newsletter so that you can get the latest information about the school and you get the links when they change so that you don't get lost and ask yourself what happened to the class and why you can't log on now. So on social media platforms, it's at Africa Team Geeks. This is on all social media platforms. So you're welcome to email me. And basically that is my email address. I think I gave it to you in the beginning of the lesson. So thank you very much for being in class with me today. See you tomorrow. And remember, I apologize to everyone, right? for the laughing. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It really wasn't meant to hurt anyone. Okay.